Hey guys, we're going to go over the next thing, which is loc and iloc. So these are methods for locating, um, basically for querying data sets and for setting, um, setting values within the data frame. So it's basically like a lookup in a way. We're basically looking up a part of the data frame, and we're either looking up what the values are, like getting a subset of the data frame, or we're just completely like updating it. So I'm going to demonstrate this by taking some code from a previous tutorial, paste that here, and we're gonna call this data frame, or new data frame is equal to df.loc, and then we're gonna look up, frustrating. Okay, here it is. Okay, so the first example, we're gonna be looking up one with, we're going to basically grab one of the values from the index. So we're going to grab the first one, which is going to be Allison, and we're going to see what shows up. I don't even think, okay, so this is going to be a series actually. So we're going to call this Allison series, and we're going to print Allison series. Okay, cool. So this pulls up her gender and her age. Now, that's the first way that it could be used. The next way is by doing a value from, let's see. We're going to skip this one. And we're going to do this. Single label for row and column. Similar to passing in a tuple. This returns a series. Okay, so Cobra and Mark I. Okay, so this is multi-index. Let's scroll up here. We're going to start at the top. So we just did this example. Now the next example is we're basically going to pass in two values. So we're going to have Allison, and then we're also going to do Bob. So we're going to call this ABDF, because this is going to be a data frame now. Boom. Okay, so there is our subset data frame using that example. Now, that's when we pass in a list. Now, if we pass in, if we don't pass in a list, but we do two different values, then this is similar to the at method that we used in the previous tutorial. So if we wanted to get Allison's age, we can call this age, print age. And we get 20. So that's for looking up an individual single value within the whole data frame. So the next example, is we can get, like, let's say we wanted to get the age for every single person. So we could call this ages, and since we're going to get the entire data set, and we're going to get the ages. Boom. So there are all of the ages for all the people. So if we just wanted to get Allison to Bob, then that's how we would do that. The other way is by passing in a list like that. That's the other way of doing it. But like in the case that it's a much larger data set, then that's where if you wanted to get like 2 people and get the age of 2 people, then you would want to do it like this. But if you wanted to get a slice where you wanted to get the top 10, for instance, then you would say first person to the 10th person. And we're going to cover this later, but we're also going to do the ILoc, which that would be, we would do 0 to 10, and then if we made this ILoc, then we would call this 0 to 10, or we're just going to do 0 to 1 with our current data set. And then age was the first one. Yeah, so that gets only Allison's. But if you wanted to get first 2, then there we go. So that's ILoc. ILoc is basically the exact same thing as loc, but with integers instead of the names of the index values and the column values. Same exact thing. Okay, so the next way we could do it, or we could use this, is Boolean list with the same length as the row axis. I'm going to skip that. Okay, we could also do a query, right? So this is pretty interesting. So let's say df_loc, and then we're going to say df age is greater than 30. So we're going to call this queried data frame. And boom, gets Chris. And then we could do less than 30. Then we get Allison. Let's see here. We could also set some values. So like, let's say we wanted to change okay, so we're going to do Allison age is equal to 21 now. Allison can drink now. Woo. Oops, let's print this. And there we go. So we set Allison's new age to 21. So what else could we do here? Okay, so we could set a whole new column of data. Let's say we wanted to, we're going to do for every single person, and then we're going to say has voted. It's going to be a whole new column, has voted. Then we're going to say false. Has voted false. So then we could if we just did Allison to Bob, has voted is equal to false, and then we could say df.loc Chris has voted is equal to true. Boom. So then what we could do is do a query, and for anything that meets the query, we could then set that whatever index meets that query to we could set a column value for that index. So to demonstrate this, we could say for all people who are over 30, we're going to say we're going to set see df age is greater than 30. Then we're going to say greater or equal to 30. We're going to say at least 30 years old is equal to true. Okay, so this returns NaN, which means, we basically have to do this. df age, if it's less than 30, then at least 30 years old is going to be false. Boom. So there's that. Let's see if there's anything else we want to figure out how to do. I think that's it. We're gonna just cover those for now. But I guess we could look up. We could do df.iloc, but I kind of showed that earlier, where we could say this ILoc, then we're going to say 1, which would be Bob, and then we would say 1, which would be the age. Then we're going to say that is would that be yeah I'm going to say 21. Oh, that's Bob, 21. So really it should be 30, since can go back in a time machine, fella. There you go. And let's say I wonder if this is possible. Let's do this 1, then we're going to say plus equals 1. We're going to see if what that does. Boom. Cool. So that basically increments every value, like every age by 1. So that's pretty interesting. So I'm going to leave it at that. That's it for this tutorial. If you guys like this video, leave a thumbs up. Subscribe to this channel if you have not already. And I will see you guys in the next tutorial. All right, good night.